Hi there, I just want to try an experiment for a moment. I'm filled with anger, it just came out in an automatic writing. I showed up late to Lee Harris's Arise and only on module 3 so far. 3 weeks late or 2 weeks late, don't know, I'm just in this state. There's been a lot of changes in my life and things are continuing to pivot, and I'm so angry, I'm filled with anger. It's about relationship stuff, cause I'm just tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Is this a thing I'll ever share with the world? I don't know, it's disclosure content, and that's what I'm becoming, a person who just talks about whatever's going on in my life with complete strangers. Why is everything that I feel needing to be on some sort of reel? Is this just what being on the internet does in general? Does it really help, or am I setting myself up for further hurt from people like the people in my life hurt me? 'Cause I'm sensitive. So many of us are like this, and I know that putting myself out is an inherent problem, and even Mabel is pissing me off at an annoying clip, and I really understand why. I sing, so see, she sings too. Why does that bother me so much? Because I'm in my own. The only reason I'm still in my house and with my husband is because we're unable to pay for anything. I've been stuck in this absolute cacophony of no, 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 no. You don't get to go, 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 go. I am stuck in a relationship and in a house in Connecticut. Is anyone else just stuck like me? Are we all part of some weird tree of connection that says if one of us doesn't go, we all don't go? And it's just a piece of where I am, and I know it's technically temporary, but when will temporary ever be fucking over? So, if you want to listen to the rest of this rant, I guess this is the introduction, because I'm just struggling with all of the commotion that's been happening inside of my own head, 'cause turning on your family, it just comes with people constantly talking, and it's what I chose, what I want, what I like, and it's just causing more problems, and it's so fucking frustrating 'cause of the memories, all of the memories of how he used to be and how he isn't for me, how he just doesn't act for me. He turns into a motherfucking police officer to me. And why is it me that he targets like this? I'm just, ugh. It's not that I'm scared to tell you that I feel so fucking caged by my relationship, but I feel bad talking about it. And it bothers me that he already had everything problematic and wrong and everything with the spiritual awakening, and he is just incessantly refusing to budge on anything that he sees, thinks, feels in 2 years of an ongoing awakening, and nothing for him has changed. I've never met another person who is so rigidly unmoving and unchanging and ungrowing in just even the capacity to add language. And I just have been fine with it. I've had to be. But when they found out they had DID, initially, he didn't believe it. And for an entire week, they were just learning about themselves. And when the therapist finally fucking said, yep, that's what it is, then he finally fucking believed it. And then he did a really good job of being open to whatever it was they said. And he did change and evolve and grow too, because he had also been in therapy and was doing things. Well, this time, he's not. And it's not that he doesn't necessarily believe anything. It's just that we don't fucking talk. However, I am expected to continue being on his same fucking schedule of, but this is what we always do, and this is what we always do. And even though, yes, you have had every fucking possible conversation that says we're fucking roommates and stop expecting me to be everything that you have always needed from them all the time, I am still expected to be everything to him, even though I do not wish to be, and he will not listen. And I'm begging the universe to fucking help me, because all I need is money and a job. I am being tortured by my existence. And I know that might just look and feel very, you're looking at it too much. Everything is too much. And look at the nice house you have. And he's a nice guy. And why can't you just deal with it? Because you're not working. He's the only one that's working. Oh, and he doesn't let me forget that. So only when we're fighting, because otherwise he just doesn't fucking talk. You know what his preferred activities are? Not talking. Okay, then eating while we watch something, which is not my preferred thing to do because I am trying to have healthy fucking habits. But God forbid I don't want to have lunch with him and want to do literally my own fucking thing. Have my own fucking space. We bought a giant house so that we could have our own space since we both work from home. That was kind of part of the point. It is both job and workplace. And God forbid, I just have a different schedule because I work 7 days a week instead of 5. So yeah, my days are a little bit different, but he doesn't actually see anything that I do, despite the fact that I work about 80 hours a week, as being work. And yes, it's literally because I don't have the income part, despite the fact I have and continue to do everything in my fucking power, including applying to places in person that do not hire me. I can't even sell the things because he's too attached to things. Yes, I can sell some of the things, but people don't really want to purchase my things. A lot of them are listed on eBay right now. They aren't being purchased. My entire house is a store. If you see something you like and you want to buy it from me, email me. I will sell it to you. There's an insidiousness to being in a relationship with someone that refuses to hear that the behaviors that they're engaged in are abusive to you. Because they're not overly abusive, they're just the little bits, you know? You could call them microaggressions, but they're not micro. They're not micro. They're not. They're fucking not. And I'm not the healthiest person either. You can hear the screaming, the anger, the everything. I am actively avoiding every moment that I can with him. And yet he still insists on the constant. We're getting divorced, motherfucker. You don't watch my videos, so you'll never see this, but you can fucking hear me yell right now, and you probably don't think it's about you. You probably don't. Probably not. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not interested in fucking trying to talk to you anymore. I'm done. I'm tired of this. I cannot live my goddamn life because it is a constant but us, but us, but us. No, not us. We are done. How many times does it have to be said? I have done it. I am attempting to live in the fluid nature of who I and we are. I am reestablishing an entire system here. We are determining what our best lived existence is. And yes, we have to do it together because you're codependent as fuck. Do not do things for your own future, and I can't leave. Until I have an actual paying job, I can't leave. I am stuck in my hell. It is just a white girl hell in Connecticut. So there's not physical violence. There is just the unending, constant litany of overwhelm from not wanting to exist one more moment in my existence itself, which is how people suicide. And why people suicide, among other things. That is not my path. That is not what I'm doing. This is part of me getting out some of my rage in an artistic kind of way that I am apparently going to be putting online because I've put every fucking other thing online. And you know what? For someone else, he's a great guy. For who we used to be, he's awesome. And they have been part of why I have excused every motherfucking behavior for the last 2 years that I just can't stand anymore. I just can't. I have been done for so long, and I refuse to continue doing shit that is just not what I am here to fucking do for his comfort. Because that's all it is. It's his comfort. It's not even like the PTSD thing anymore. He has been able to at least overcome enough of that. I'm getting to the point where I want not only to divorce, but I want a clean, don't fucking talk to me again. That's where I am at this stage. That's where I keep getting to. Because ever since we had the conversation about how I managed to finally get him on board with, okay, we're family. We're still family because I fucking chose you. We're family, but we're more brother-sister. That seems to have ignited his, oh, now I need to police all of your behaviors all the time and ask you what you're doing all the time. Because there's some level of, oh no, now she's serious and now it's actually going to be happening, which, as everybody in the fucking IPV fucking field knows, is now the most dangerous time. Because now the separation and the actual thing is real. It's not just theoretical. It's not just what we've been talking about. It's not just the back and forth where, oh, we're totally divorcing. Okay, fine. No, we're actually together. But it's always been an okay, fine. But now it's real. Now it's fucking tangibly real. And he fucking knows that. And so every goddamn moment is now, I must ask, because this is me talking. Look, I'm doing the thing you asked. I'm talking. This is not talking. This is trying to fucking insert yourself where I have told you you're not welcome. I tried for 2 years. I tried. You weren't interested. Too little, too late. We've already had that conversation. In, sextuplet. I've had every conversation you could possibly have, and I swear to God, if anyone tells me, well, did you talk about this? Well, there's only been the two of us here. You think I haven't had every conversation you could possibly have? You think I haven't done every intervention you could possibly do? You think we haven't done every single goddamn thing in the psychology community's toolbox? I have tried. I am done. We are done. And I don't know how to free myself from the shackles upon which this entire endeavor, which, by the way, we didn't even want to do. We wanted to stay in Boston. He wanted to grow roots somewhere. So we said, okay, fine. We'll do the thing for you and we'll move to a place that's close. We did the whole house purchasing thing despite insisting that we did not want to, and it did not feel like a good, smart move because of how overwhelming it would be to have to own a home while we were still in the midst of a large growth moment. But he really wanted a house. Again, he didn't want to live in an apartment anymore, and he really wanted to get into the hobbies that he would watch people do on YouTube, despite the fact that after 2 years in a giant house, what hobbies has he done? None of them. Just because you watch people on YouTube does not mean that you are ever going to be a maker. And if you're not willing to, like, sign up to go to a makerspace, then congratulations. You are simply a person whose hobby is watching other people do stuff. That's your hobby. Stop buying shit that you will not use. Stop telling your partner that you're totally gonna blah, blah, blah. And do not force your goddamn partners to move to a house in Connecticut so that you can have the space for your shit and eventually, someday, do the making that for some reason you think you're gonna actually do. No, your hobby is watching other people. You are a voyeur. That's what you are. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong with liking and collecting things. There is something wrong with basically being a hoarder. And they enabled that shit. My God, my former internal family enabled that shit. Because they were traumatized deeply and Randy was safe. He is a safe person. I am just fucking done. I am burnt out on all of this. I am burnt out on this life. I am burnt out on this life that I inherited. Because this is not my life. He wants to keep playing house with who they were. And they would have loved everything about here and everything about this life. They would have loved it. They would have really grown here. They would have really done a good job here. But this is not me. And he fucking knows that. And obviously, I'm aware of the whole timing and universe and life script stuff. I get it. I fucking get it. And as an alter, yeah, I came in after we owned the goddamn house. We hadn't moved in yet, but we were kind of stuck and sucked in. We have repairs we need to make on the house that are going to impact the fact that nobody would want to buy it. It's winter. People don't really buy houses. Not to mention, we've got dogs and we are neurodivergent as fuck. And everything in the house is kind of a little bit like disheveled. So we can't really show it. And we can't really afford to get anybody in here to help us to clean it. And we do clean it. We try. We do. And guess how many fights we end up fucking having every time either of us tries? Oh, and guess who's the one who does most of the goddamn cleaning? Despite the fact that I am working 80 hours a week. What are you doing, Charlie? Genuinely doing content creation, genuinely doing continued healing journey bullshit, genuinely doing shamanism stuff that I'm still in the process of fucking learning, genuinely doing client things, doing things for the podcast, doing writing, and applying for jobs like it's my job. Yeah. Genuinely doing all the goddamn things I possibly can and doing the artistic things that I can do to elevate myself enough to not fucking kill myself. That's basically where I've been for 2 years. Healing as much of the PTSD as possible, doing all the goddamn integration work because that's just a huge part of it, which, let me be honest with you, if you're doing huge DID integration work, you basically shouldn't be working because of how fucking chaotic your life is and how awful everything is. Not to mention, have been completely isolated, and every friend we kept for 20 years was like this because of the fact that I exist and we went through a spiritual awakening and fucking died and they didn't want to hear about it. I don't think I've ranted on this channel quite like this. I don't tend to invite anger forward most of the time. Mainly because there's not a whole lot that I'm angry about that hasn't hit, but what can I do about it? Right? Because, yeah, anger at the world at large, anger at everything I fucking see, anger at the complete soul and heart opening that I've been experiencing, and yet I fucking just turn on any bit of news only to discover, oh, great. This is how we're continuing to cause absolute harm and chaos. Yeah. I've had to be surviving. So I'm just going to stop for a moment because letting this anger out has felt deeply needed. As for why I'm recording it, disclosure content. That's what I do. This is my life. It's not typical. It's not a typical life. And I have no idea where my life is heading. I just keep getting previews and previews that involve things that are completely impossible based on my life right now. Still let them play out because it's entirely possible that I'm running a fantasy script internally for future based things that are impossible just to keep me elevated enough to not kill myself. That's where I am. That's where I fucking am. And I know I'm not alone. I am with a level of collective experience right now with people who are just as isolated as me, with people who feel all of the feelings that I'm feeling. And the whole reason I put myself out online is to basically be like, hey, these are unfortunately very normal for the now moment, for where humans are right now. And I have 43 people who subscribe to my content. Hi. The last time I did a thank you video, I think there were 40, so hi. Oh no, 37, because I made the joke of 37 in a row. I don't know what the fuck has got you stuck. And I don't know what the fuck any of us do to get out of it, because let me tell you, I am in a rise right now. I'm on video 3, module 3. It's the 20th of February. Technically, this started on the 4th. They're on module, I don't know, 17? Something like that. At this stage, I'm late. I'm late to this particular murmuration. Which honestly sometimes is helpful because then you're kind of riding the coattails of everybody that's been doing it since the 4th. Hopefully they've, gotten through some of their shit and I'm just hitting on some of the anger and letting it out. Because, yeah, I like to participate in these from time to time. It's one of the few things that I budget for. It's not that expensive. We don't really do a whole lot else. And since going vegan, I basically spend very little money on food for myself. So really doing a good job at taking care of as much of the financial burden as we possibly can. But, then life kicks you in the teeth and a really nice dentist fixes it. But then, oh no, you're out of network now because your husband's job changed and they made every benefit worse. And no one knew that that was the case because they took so long to get the fucking information to you that they couldn't check until they were finished with the fixing of the tooth problem. But I needed to fix the tooth problem anyway, just had to pay fully out of pocket for it. Am I grateful that I have a person who has been paying my bills, our bills? Yes. Yes, I am. Deeply. Do I want him to have every bit of support and love and connection and everything that will lift him up so that he can live his best life? Yes. Do I also want to be fucking done with this relationship just like every other relationship has been done with me at this stage? Yes, I do. I don't even think it needs to be permanent, but I think I need a break in full from him to even just be able to breathe. Yep, I need that. And you know what people in this state do when they need that? They go on a retreat. They go out of town. They get together with girlfriends. They except for the ones that are like me that can't afford to do that and that don't have friends and have tried to make friends in a variety of ways. I literally joined Mensa to make friends a couple years ago. Tried. Just realized that it was not the neurodivergent haven that I thought it would be. It is, but it was a neurodivergent haven where everyone cared way too much about the fact that they were in Mensa. That's not what I wanted. I just wanted to be like, okay, we all identify as the thing. We like get the piece of paper with our name on it or something, and then we're just here. We don't really talk about the fact that we're in it because that's a weird thing to do. Nope. Nope, that was not my experience. Everyone only cared about the fact that it's like having work friends. Like when you're friends only because of the organization or whatever, that's not friends. That's just organization friends. I want friends, actual people who want to talk about their lives, about what's going on, understand what's going on with us, and give a shit about it. One does not simply go through a near-death experience and just keep doing everything the same way. That's the whole point of having that type of an experience. And the fact that I was surrounded by people who not only didn't give a shit, they didn't care. They didn't fucking care. And they didn't care that everyone that they'd ever known internally was dead. They didn't care. They didn't care. They didn't want to get to know me. They didn't understand that I was new. They didn't fucking care. They didn't get it. You know, most people, according to research, who go through an NDE, they just want to go back. They're like, being here sucks. Being there was awesome and being here sucks. And I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I also do disagree because there are things here that continue to astound me that I did not know. I mean, didn't remember, because you have access to everything on this app. It doesn't mean that you get information, all of it, all the time. Because I continue to be astounded by the people that I've been meeting now, like very recently, or connecting with, or just having conversations. I can have conversations the likes of which my former internal family members only ever dreamed of having. The level of assuredness and confidence in just being present in the moment, and what comes out, just let it flow. I can get into flow state. They never could, because when you're a system, staying in flow state is damn near impossible. Damn near impossible. Constantly switching, constantly central nervous system having to be in a state of flux. Can't be flow when you're constantly... Because pivoting is the only thing that systems know. Flow is a challenge to get to. That's why I had to perfect flow before we could become a system again. And that was a conscious choice. Conscious choice my way there. It wasn't a necessity, wasn't a requirement, but it is what I wanted. And he doesn't even fucking care about that. No interest in talking to who else is in here. Literally said, I don't believe in Gaia. Do you know how many conversations that motherfucker has had with Gaia? Not only that, Gaia is an altar in here. Channel an entity long enough and be a collective being, you might get an altar of said channeled entity. It's not unheard of. It's not unheard of. You think Gaia hasn't walked in humans? Come on. And it's not the most simple fucking thing in the world to have an alter state of Gaia. It hasn't shut up in here since she came online. February 2nd. Groundhog Day. She thought it was funny. She and Scout both fully online as alter states, newly formed. Tony, February 17th, came in with the eclipse. And they haven't shut up since. And all I want to do is get to know my fucking family. And I have this motherfucker not even remotely appreciating the fact that I'm having conversations, and he'll just have to intervene have to be worried for us, worried for me. I'm like, motherfucker, did you just have complete amnesia of the lifetime of conversations that everyone in here was always having? Why is it that I'm the weird one now? Excuse me? What the fuck? He's swept up in his own bullshit and so overwhelmed that we're getting a divorce, despite the fact that his family already died. His family already died. And yes, it sucks that not one of his friends or family members gave a flying fuck that happened. That sucks. And that sucks. That fucking sucks. Sucks for him. Sucks for me. I'm tired of being mistreated by the people that I have spent a lifetime with. And by I mean the body I. Most of this rage is coming from the depths of body. Body doesn't really talk to cameras. I'm the one that does that because I'm the performer. I've spent the last 2 years training to be a performer so that I could perform all of my family's stories and songs and everything and anything that Gaia needs, that the body needs, that anyone in here could possibly need or want, even. Just because it is an easier way to take in some really fucked up information about this world and this life and everything that we need to do to fucking fix it. Not everything, but information. Yes, channeling and words are helpful, but music allows for soul opening so that people can receive it a little bit easier. It's what I've been training to fucking do. And I've been living with someone who doesn't appreciate that. Or just the fluid nature of who we are. You know, if you don't ask, you can't receive. So this is me asking. There's no specific person that I need help from. But I accept help. Please help me. I need a job. I need money. I need people who understand me and us. And my preference, job-wise, is to be a writer. I am a writer. I am a content creator. I am a channeler. I read Akashic Records. I have information for the general public from Mother Earth herself. And there are some very, very big things that are coming not only to the United States, but globally, but definitely to the United States. I'm in the US. As I've complained before, I'm in Connecticut. I've been deeply mistreated here. But you know what? That is just a typical song for this entire body and this entire system. I have been through hell and back more times than I'm ever going to tell, but there are just going to be some really fun mathematical quantum physics things that I will eventually be sharing on a camera on a stage. I know this to be truth. I've seen it. I set it up in my timeline when I was in the in-between, and then we've had a few things that we've had to redo since then, thanks to life being what it is right now for humans, but I'm still, at this point, I'm angry determined. I'm angry determined. And I am willing to answer any question you could possibly have about anything in the cosmos. Personally, I think that the best people who will have questions that I think would do the most good for my country right now would be Stephen Colbert. I said people. I meant Stephen Colbert and friends. Why? There's just a lot that I can explain, but it's about resonance and about timing and about who it is specifically that I think would have the right improvised questions at the right key moments to speak to the right entities to get information out that would be beneficial to our country. And this is the weirdest time to make a pitch, but I'm pretty sure late night hosts used to have people like psychics on. I'd prefer the term intuitive. It's what Lee Harris calls himself. Do I compare myself to him? I literally sign up for his stuff just so that I can get a dose of like, girl, I got you. Because that's all this is. I'm not learning anything. Learning. We're always learning. But there's nothing in this that I don't already know. And there's everything in this to just get me to do some somatic work and to slow the fuck down. And I was midway through this and I needed to pause because my automatic writing, I'll share with you what I automatically wrote. I'll just share it. I overshare everything. He had us do some automatic writing, so. And it's basically, soul, what do you want to tell me today? That's a very helpful thing to write down and then just let your pen flow. Charlie, you are at a crucial pivot in your life. Today you will be inundated with unrequited love feelings and the overwhelm may seem unforgivable. Do not stop the fires that have been smoldering. It is time to free yourself from the expectations this life has forced upon you. Do not judge your anger. Listen to it. Ask it why it is surfacing. And then I spoke to anger, and I'm not sharing that because that's private. If it's soul, at least akashically speaking, it's also kind of available for all, but when you get a little bit more into the internals, things get much more private. I can explain more about what I mean by that when it comes to accessing akashic records and being a person who is pulling in information as an intuitive, because there's layers to it. And even though everyone genuinely has at least a moment of, wait, you can see everything I've ever like said, thought, done, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I have technically access to it. That's not the same thing as seeing everything all the time. When you walk into a library, are you capable of reading every book at the same fucking moment? Yeah, neither am I. I know how to call the correct book that comes forward and then I allow it out. Just like I allowed out my anger about this overwhelm and burnout for my relationship and life that is just overwhelming me. And I'm doing it because if I don't let it out and I don't do something with it, this is artistic expression. This is how I'm getting it out. And I'm putting it out to an audience because I have an audience of heart-centered people who, even if they watch like a 30-second beginning of my video, I still get filled with love. Because that's how these work. This is an Akashic record container. Anyone who views it fills a little bit of their life with my heart coherence and their heart coherence, and there's just a hint of, girl, I got you, that goes on. It's what I've found here. It's why I wasn't allowed to put videos onto the internet until last August. I had to spend a whole year and a half like prepping in a different way and doing a bunch of other shit before I could even do this. Because timing, I've been very spirit-led in everything I do. And I think this is going to be one of the rare videos where I'm not watching it before I put it up. I'm just going to be like, here you go. Here you go, universe. I usually watch all my videos. Not this one, because I don't want to take back in all of my anger. Not that it like causes you to be angry necessarily, but big emotions just happened. And now I do want to watch it. Damn it. Well, I'll decide that later. It doesn't matter. You don't have to make full decisions on your life and stick to them. How good of an ADHD person would I be if that was how I actually was? I have set myself up to be some sort of spectacle in this world, to help bridge a few divides right now and provide information at a very critical time for at least the country I'm in. Stephen, I don't know if you've ever had an intuitive on your show before. I don't know if that would be something that would cause all kinds of internal cognitive dissonance because of it, but my language is psychology. That was our religion before we died, which makes for a very interesting near-death experience, let me tell you. And yeah, we have dissociative identity disorder. We just prefer calling it being a collective being because the pathologization of everything is a hindrance to humanity, not a help. It's just not. So, anyone who's watching this, thank you for giving me your love and your light and your attention. If you can help me, there are many ways to. My website is soulharmonyconnection.com. There are services that you can purchase. There's a Patreon that's $5 a month. If you would sign up for it, I would not only be so grateful, but you're probably going to get a song of gratitude that I will be putting on my channel. Maybe. We'll see. I can't promise anything. I just know that there are things in this life that you can't really do a whole lot about. And sometimes what you need to do is ask for help. And Stephen Colbert, I'm asking to be on your show, or at least to have a conversation with you that is recorded so that you can see what happens when all of your expectations about a person that you get because you only watch a video about them or something before you meet them are, well, I think a lot of what you think I am and who you think I am are basically going to be wrong. I think you're going to be wrong about me, and I think you're going to like how that makes you feel. Make your assumptions about me. But talk to me anyway and see what comes out. I have a lot of experience with people being deeply, deeply like, wait, what? about the things that come out. And I think that you, of all people, would be the, well, not the only person who would appreciate it, but I think you know how to make really cool things happen. And I also have an improv background. It's basically what reading Akashic Records are anyway, and being an intuitive is anyway. You're just heart-centered, spirit-led, soul-open improv. Reach out, please. soulharmonyconnection@gmail.com. I feel a lot better now. And I am sorry that I just complained heavily about my best friend and husband. As I'm sure some of you can imagine, sometimes you just get completely burnt out on the life that you're living, and you overflow with anger, and you don't really want to direct it at the person because that's not fair. And if you're me, you instead then do the rather bitchy thing of turning to the internet and telling the world about it instead, with the literal hopes that it goes viral, and the extra hope that if it does, someone else, preferably in Richmond, Virginia, goes, I can't believe she would talk about him like that. He's amazing. I want him for my boyfriend. Good. Please. That's what I want too. He deserves somebody that will take care of him the way that they used to, because he does need that. He's a codependent guy. He has ADHD, the inattentive type. He would like someone who is also codependent because, let's face it, that's just who he is. He's working on it in therapy. He will need a new therapist. He is a software engineer. He is 6 feet tall. He's good with kids. He doesn't really understand dogs, but we've already discussed, and Corbin will be going with him. And he genuinely is a great guy. I'm just not compatible with him, and a daily existence with him is killing me on just every level. Just flames on the side of my face. That's where I am, okay? And I will continue to make content about it to keep from just curling up in a ball and crying on the floor, because that's about where it goes. And also, he needs a life that's not super chaos. The man wants roots. He wants to grow his roots, and he misses where we grew up. He misses Richmond. He wants to be home. He wants to be home. If somebody wants to wrap him in a giant hug and say, I would like you for my boyfriend, soulharmonyconnection@gmail.com. Let's see if we can get you two talking on like Zoom. They got their start on AIM. He's very good with the back and forth, and he will not at all be open to that right now. He won't be, okay? He won't be. He's a little too traditional in a lot of the ways in which he operates, and it's heartbreaking for him that we're breaking up. It's just because he still hasn't quite gotten over the losses of an entire system. And I think that once we have just even a couple of days where we're not together in the same goddamn space, my anger will go down. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. There will be more fun songs and lighthearted content soon. Consider this sort of a one-off, okay? Universe, I did the asking. Can I please have what we all have been asking for months and years now? Thank you. And thank you. Artistic expressions with the big emotions. But do let them out, okay? And listen to what it is they have to say and make your life choices based on those conversations. Okay. I love you so much. Thank you so much. If you're capable of getting this to the hands of Stephen Colbert, I would very much appreciate that. I will pay you back however I can. All right. We'll talk soon. Bye.